I'm going to try and play it cool, but man, I can't believe you accepted our offer to come down here and say hi and play a tune for us. So it's like a month ago, the chapters you were just in, I was there with my daughter, we were picking out a book. I see this sign saying like, Jim Cuddy's coming. And I thought like, why have I not heard about this? So like the next day I hop on the air, I wrote a quick letter to Warner. I'm like, can he maybe stop by and play us a song and that kind of thing? I kick off with Blue Rodeo and I'm telling all our listeners like, Jim Cuddy's here and like, maybe he'll come to the studio. Turns out I was so excited. I messed up. I was 1 month early. I screwed up the whole thing.
Did Laura tell you that?
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of people on the email being like, you idiot. Like, he's not in town for like another month. So like, this has been a month in the making. And we finally heard back that like, you're here and hello. So
I'm honored. So thank you very much.
Does that ever happen to you? Like where I mixed up my days, you mix up yours. Like you were just in Europe. Now you're going across Canada. Like
all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Truly. Yeah, all the time. No, I mean, we have to keep it, honestly, a day by day. And there's somebody in the band, like Colin Cripps, who's a guitar player in my band and in Blue Rodeo. He doesn't want to hear anything more than 48 hours in advance. He doesn't want to hear like, well, on the weekend, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Just wants 48 hours in advance. Because we've had some crazy travel in the last couple of weeks.
So you're playing the Windspear tonight. Yes. You just played, though, like the Chapters Indigo on Gateway, where it's completely different. It's very intimate. The fans are there. We had a lot of Now Family texting at 56789. They were there. They said you were fantastic.
Oh, it's a really nice thing.
Yeah, like, so what kind of show do you prefer? Because, like, you've been doing music for so long. Like, what's the ultimate Jim Cuddy musical show? What do you like performing most?
Well, I think that, first of all, they're all good, right? And I think that the Chapters in Indigo performances are small, 100 people. And really the only time I get to hear other people speak. Like if we play a concert or even if we do a meet and greet afterwards, we're just shaking hands.
Yeah.
Not really hearing. And this time we get people here, talk, they ask a question, they talk, they tell you a little bit about themselves. So it's nice for me. But I think with this tour, I wanted to come through and do venues where I could talk to the audience.
Yeah.
And not necessarily, Blue Rodeo's, that's not necessarily the kind of band Blue Rodeo is. There'd be some stories, but it's not the same. So I wanted to have ones that had enough people, but also had an intimacy.
Yeah, when I saw the price on that too, I was like, okay, so you get the vinyl with it. You get to like talk to you. You get to see an intimate setting. Like it seems like such a cool experience.
It was nice. They're really nice. They've been really nice. They've all been really, I think, successful for both of us. Like I've enjoyed them, and I think the audience has enjoyed them.
Your son Devin's opening up the show tonight.
He is, yeah.
Yeah, he's been doing that for you for almost 10 years now, eh?
Not opening up all the time. He certainly has his own career. I have two sons that are in music. Sam Pauly and the Old Tomorrows. He has a band, and then Devin Cuddy Band. And Devin has a new record. So I asked Devin, come with me on this tour and promote your record, because it's a great record. And so he's here. He's just with his guitar player here, just Mike Type here.
Oh, cool.
So they've done really well.
Does he stay out of trouble when he's on the road with you?
You know what? It's a really good question. Because I think one of the things they learned early on, I mean, when they grew up, they just saw the fun things. They would come on the bus or they would come backstage and be all treats and stuff. But when they started to play, they understood that it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of focus, and you can't mess up. So yes, he has fun, but he never ever lets me down.
Good stuff.
He's always good on stage, and then and also he's getting to mid-30s. That's too painful for the gateway's 30.
Yeah, it's a little downhill from there. A bit more sleep, it gets important.
You got to get more sleep.
Hangovers are worse. Man. Now, family, if you're just flipping on the radio, Jim Cuddy from Blue Rodeo is here, and I still can't believe that. It's crazy to have those words fall out of my mouth. Thank you for being here. 6th solo album. It's called All the World Fades Away. 6 albums. That's like for solo. How does that feel? That's really incredible to have that body of work on top of the other body of work.
It is amazing to me that Blue Rodeo next year is celebrating 40 years. So we've been 40 years a band. But I've had my solo band for 28 years. So next year's our 29th year. And that's it's been a joy. I think when all the guys in Blue Rodeo started to do solo records, it was a good thing for us, because it took a little bit of pressure off the mothership. And everybody enjoyed doing their own thing. And I've had the same band pretty much for 28 years. In my solo band. So
wow.
Now half the guys are from Blue Rodeo, so it's a little, that's the easy part. But yeah, it's been great. And I yes, when I hear 6 records, I can't believe it.
It's crazy. Your first solo effort, too, since being inducted into the Canadian Songwriters Hall of Fame in September. So does that put more pressure on the lyrics now? Because, like, you're putting out a new album, and you're thinking, okay, like, people are going to listen to this. I'm in the Songwriters Hall of Fame. There's only 68 people in there.
Is that right?
It's only 68. You're one of them.
Wow. No, I don't think it puts. I think we put that pressure on ourselves years ago. I think years ago when we realized that we were going to be singing these songs repetitively, we realized that you can't take a shortcut with the lyrics. You have to take the time, make them coherent, make them poetic. So I think both of us, both Greg and myself, we've worked hard on lyrics that we can sing 100 times a year.
Yeah. I wanted to thank you, too, for like a lifetime of incredible lyrics. Like I was 14, I was learning to play guitar. My cousin's like, get into this, and he taught me bad timing. And at the time, I was into like Weird Al Yankovic and CNC Music Factory, and like it was my first introduction to like, oh wow, like, you know, music can be different and be heartfelt and that kind of thing. And like, just it's incredible to have you here. With the new album too, your trademark falsetto still in there. Like you can still hit those notes. Feels good.
Feels good. I think that people look at me on stage and think, no, he probably can't do it. But frankly, it's not. The falsetto is not the hardest thing, although, you know, I say that now and I'm going to do this song with falsetto in it. So, I work hard at it. I don't, I never drink on the road, and I try to do everything I can to keep it going. So I don't want to, it's definitely the way I define myself. So I don't want to lose any of the skill.
Well, we might call an audible here, like you were doing Impossible, but I was saying Learn to Live Alone, like the opening track on that album sounds awesome. It's a great opener. And is that the one you're going to do for us?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Well, the floor is yours. Jim Cuddy
Okay.
at the Now Studios. Take it away.
Okay. These nights go on forever. It's just that time of year. Well, I miss our time together. Really wish that you were here. Waking up to morning showers. Never lost for things to say. Walking through the woods for hours. Swimming naked every day. But now I know you've gone away. I dream about you every day. Oh, when you're gone, I feel it in my bones. You'll come back again, I know. When days are longer after the snow. Until then, I'll just learn to live alone. Learn to live alone. Well, I know it's temporary. Happens like this every year. I guess I'll reset my memory, make believe you were never here. Well, I can go wherever I want to, see friends and carry on. Go to bed when the morning comes through, play guitar all night long. But still I can't get used to this. I only think of things I miss. I can't forget the places we have gone. You'll come back again, I know. When days are longer after the snow. Until then, I'll just learn to live alone. Oh, learn to live alone. Learn to live alone. People ask me how I'm feeling. They call and come around. Well, they see my world is reeling. Everything's turned upside down. But still I can't get used to this. I only think of things I miss. I can't forget the places we have gone. You'll come back again, I know. When days are longer after the snow. Until then, I'll just learn to live alone. Oh, learn to live alone. Learn to live alone.
Woo! I know you can't hear it, but everyone in the studio behind you is freaking out too. Jim Cuddy's here at the Now Studios. Some text about that. Like Catherine says, Canadian legend. I love this song. Capoge says, my heart is melting. Jen says, incredible. I've got chills listening to Jim. I love this so much is another. Two Suppers said, good pick. Impossible. I'm glad he didn't play it. It would have made you cry, Adam, in studio. But someone else is crying, saying, Lisa in Shore Park says, happy tears. So Learn to Live Alone. Can you speak on that real quick? What's that song about?
Yeah, you know what? It's a funny thing because I wrote it because it's become a little bit of a joke between my wife and I. Right? We've been married a long time, and I say one of the the cornerstones of a long marriage is for the other person to occasionally go away, and so that you have the house to yourself.
Yes.
She gets that in spades. You know, no me there, no noise that I make, no irritation, but I don't get that a lot. I occasionally she'll go away and I'll have the house to myself, and I got all these plans. I'm gonna, no restrictions anymore. No, I don't have to sing. I'm gonna get my friends together. We're gonna drink all night. We're gonna play guitar.
Yes.
And then I realize as I phone around, I don't have any friends that drink all night anymore. I don't want to play any more guitar than I already play. So basically, I'm at home and I'm just waiting to see, when is the least embarrassing time to call her and see how you doing? What, you gonna come home early?
It kind of sounds like the happiest divorce anthem of all time, too. Just like, yes, learning to live alone.
I know.
I can't.
But the person in the song is coming back.
Oh.
He'll come back after the winter.
Gotcha.
Right, so
can't steal too much more of your time, Jim, but thank you for being here. Real quick, the Order of Canada, you received that, and that's for Canadian music contributions, but for charitable causes as well. And that's another thing I wanted to thank you for, on top of the lyrics and a lifetime of music, the stuff that you've done for others. Like 2016, being here, it was Fire Raid, and you guys were up on stage. We're all singing Lost Together, Commonwealth Stadium, 60,000 people there.
Like
you're always on the right side of things. And on a personal level, during the pandemic, like when we had nothing to do, you were that person. Like you were hosting things from your house. I got to see your decor in the background, learning to live alone. I'm like, okay, that's where that plant is. It was such a neat idea, and it brought us all together. And I just love that, there's still such a passion for making music and doing that kind of thing. And you're just a legend, dude.
Well, that's very humbling. I appreciate it. All those things were a pleasure to do. It's very nice to be able to play music. I think that there's a lot of crap goes on in the world now, and I feel like the traveling musicians were a bit of a salve for the troubled soul. So I feel it's an honor to be able to go out and do this.
It's an honor to have you here.
Thank you.
Truly. All right, so Jim's at the Wind Spear tonight, but at the Now Studios right now, you get to pick any song to play you out to. It's a Now Al. We made it for you. So is there a song you have in mind?
Would you play 5440 I Go Blind?
Is there a particular reason you want to
You know what? I do these charity trips with Neil, and he's the most economical songwriter I've ever met. He can make a song out of 2 chords. I mean, I Go Blind has very few chords in it, and it's like he just doesn't want to move his fingers very much, and he writes these really fantastic songs, and I love that. I mean, I think I told you earlier that Neil has this story where I think he's down in Arizona, and he goes to a karaoke, and his wife gets him to go up, and he sings I Go Blind, and then he says from the stage, I wrote that song, and there's no reaction from the crowd, and then some guy in the crowd goes, oh, come on.
Well, if you want to hit up a karaoke bar after the show and do some Blue Rodeo stuff, I'm down. I'll give you my number, okay? Jim, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you very much.
All right, we're going to have this to play us out.
Blue Rodeo. Blue Rodeo.
Blue Rodeo.